Welcome back to the Atlas Masterclass. It's night 2 of our 2021 Greek menu. Very excited to be back in the Masterclass kitchen. So tonight we're going to make a really awesome sort of rosemary lamb. So it's inspired by some of those dishes that you'd have at Greek Easter, where you've got, all the sort of, Greek families all getting together, cooking lamb, brushing it with rosemary, and of course serving it with an awesome salad. So this salad we're going to call it's Erica's grain salad. So Erica's part of the Masterclass team and she's talked us through what we should make for a beautiful salad, and I think it's going to be absolutely delicious. So what we have is we have our lamb here, so we're going to get that on the grill, and I have slightly flattened that out so you get the piece and you can just sort of make it as thin or as thick as you want. Obviously the thinner it is, the quicker it will cook. Then I've got some lentils and bulgur here, so I'm going to go in the water behind me. I'll get that straight in, and that's 15 minutes in boiling water. So just like such. And then I've got in front of me also, I've got some parsley that I've shredded up, so that parsley will go through the grain salad, as well as some diced red onion. So that red onion just diced nice and finely, and then some diced cucumber as well. So that cucumber, such a classic Greek ingredient to see, and so fresh in a salad. So then inside as well, we've got a mixture here of pumpkin seed, currant, sunflower seeds, and coriander. And that's going to go through our salad, adding some more texture and more grain. And finally, we've got our dressing here. So the dressing's made with some oregano, some chili, some lemon juice, and olive oil. So really fresh. So we'll start by cooking this and getting our lamb on. So I just use some of the dressing straight on top of the lamb. And I'm going to give it a baste as we go as well. So really sort of mixing that across. Mix it nicely. And we'll go straight onto our grill. So if it's good barbecue weather, this is a perfect dish to be barbecuing outdoors. So just keep that, if you've got the barbecue fired up while you're making the grain salad, lamb on the grill, and we're going to keep basting it. So as we go, we're going to use our rosemary, and we're going to be brushing it with the rosemary, just imparting even more flavour into our dish. And I'll also just add a nice pinch of salt to our lamb, so just seasoning as we cook. So while the one side's down searing off beautifully, I season the other, then I'll flip it and then season the other side. So as well for tonight's meal, for our vegetarians, we're going to make a zucchini and feta fritter, and then we've also got our flour mix. So what we'll do, we'll grate up our zucchini. Then we add in our feta. So just crumbling up that feta, really mix it through nicely. And then of course our flour mix. And then the trick is, so sort of really mix it up nicely. And we're going to add a little splash of water as well. That water will just help sort of activate some of the gluten in our flour mix that will then help it sort of stick together. So when it's cooking, you actually get the fritter and it doesn't fall apart too much. So just a little splash of water. And you can really feel it all comes together nicely. Just gonna let that sit for a minute while I heat up my pan, and then we'll start cooking for our lovely vegetarian guests. So now I'm just gonna give this a nice baste again with our rosemary and some of the sauce. You'll be able to smell that, so delicious. Then I just flip it over. Give it a nice base. Really nice season as well. Bit of salt on there. Then I'm going to put it over onto the heat behind me while I finish the cooking. And we're going to start cooking our vegetarian dish. So I've got here some oil. We go straight in with the oil. And I'll let that heat up, maybe splash more. And with our fritters, you just want to make them, a nice sort of small size. It don't have to be too big. Really make sure it's well mixed. Smells so nice, love that. The idea of the feta in this will really give so much flavour to what you're making. And, you know, you can really, with this as well, really keep the base happening as well. Keep some more of this dressing. So now the oil's warmed up. And I just go straight in with our lovely fritters. So it's just for our vegetarians, something that's going to be really delicious with that grain salad. You know, everyone loves a nice fritter. The feta really makes this recipe bring out so much sort of flavour. Feta obviously will have a bit of saltiness to it too, so you won't have to really season the fritters too much. As you may have noticed, I didn't put any salt in. But you know, if you feel that, you know, once you have a taste, you want to add a little bit more, you definitely can. But I'd recommend just go easy first. And now I'm just going to get out take off, I should say, our lentils and our lentils and bulgur mix. So take about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes in boiling water, lentils and bulgur will be ready. And then you can sort of let the steam come off them, and then I can run some cold water over them so they'll be ready to use for our salad. And we'll just mix it through the rest of the ingredients. Just continuously basting our lamb as well. So with the fritters, they'll be super nice and soft as well. So you want to try and get it nice and crispy on the outside, then nice and soft in the middle. So the zucchini will be cooked through, and then they're ready to serve. And at the end as well, I'll get some fresh rosemary as well, and just drop it in just to give a bit of fried rosemary flavour to it as well. So now I just take the rosemary straight into the pan, stand back, it may spit a little bit. You want to fry that up. Once it's fried and got a little bit of colour on it, you'll be ready to serve. And that just adds that extra element of flavour to these stunning vegetarian fritters. Now with the lamb, I'll just take that off as well. I'm just going to let that rest. So rest just in our dressing. Let it rest for about 5 minutes or so just under the rosemary. Put it back on for a minute, then we'll be ready to slice it up. So for our fritters, straight on like so. A really stunning looking dish there. That's our vegetarian fritters. And then for our awesome salad, I go in with the lentils and the bulgur. And you might want to just cool these down a little bit. So I'd pour a bit of water over them. Let them cool down just so they're about room temperature or so. Just not to ruin the integrity of the parsley or the cucumber. And then I go in with our red onion, cucumber and our parsley. Just well as our dressing as well. I'll put a bit of dressing over these fritters too. And there we are. So with this mix, a stunning grain salad, so inspired by Erica's Nonna's recipe. So we've got all those beautiful flavors in there. And now I'm just going to add in our stunning seed mix as well. And then what I'll do is just give it that last mix. So mix it with the dressing, add all the seeds in, then you've got a big flavored, you know, stunning salad right there. Anyone would love on a nice hot day with some barbecued lamb or some zucchini fritters. And then for the lamb, we'll just now let that rest for a minute or two. Then I'm just going to put it back on the grill, finish cooking it, and then we'll be ready to serve in a couple of minutes. So now I'm just going to take the lamb off the grill and just roll it back through our, basting it again with our rosemary and our lovely dressing. And then you can just slice it up as well. So now just slice the lamb up. I'll go straight on our plate there. Presenting a little bit of our rosemary as well. Give that a swirl. Then the last bit of our dressing. We got any of the beautiful resting juices as well. That'll always taste delicious. And then we've got our stunning roast lamb with our grain salad. So all those currants, the beautiful coriander seed, punch of you know, the red onion, of course, cucumber. And then for our vegetarians, our zucchini and feta fritters. So if you've got a bit of feta left over from your fritters, feel free to sprinkle on top. If not, there's plenty in there. That salty, delicious feta. And you know, this is some really fun Greek cooking, you know, the beautiful salad, and it all comes together on the plate, and something I hope you really enjoy this summer with our first week of the Atlas Masterclass.